Hello and welcome back to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel, where of course we're giving you all the latest news, views and opinions on all things Albion. We are back again today with another match preview for you, taking a look at tomorrow's game between West Bromwich Albion and Reading, which kicks off at the Select Car Leasing Stadium at 3 o'clock tomorrow in the EFL Championship. So yeah, only two more games to go now, including this one before the season draws to a close. And Albion, I think, are fighting for pride, if anything. The same with Reading, really. Of course, having been in a relegation battle for large parts of this season. But this match preview will take you through all the info for tomorrow's game. It will take you through some predicted lineups for both sides, what we can expect from the opposition, and my thoughts on Albion at the moment, along with a cheeky score prediction towards the end of the video. But before we crack on, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Looking forward to seeing a lot of you heading into the new season and over the summer. This is your place to be for all your latest Albion news, videos and reaction and podcast, whatever you want to see on the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel over the summer. This is the place to be for all your news. So make sure you subscribe and comment down below your score predictions for tomorrow's game with Reading. Make sure you comment your thoughts ahead of the game as well. I'd love to hear them. And yeah, let's crack on. It's match preview time. It's West Bromwich Albion versus Reading. You're watching the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel. For match previews, match day vlogs, match reactions and more, make sure to subscribe to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel. So, as always in these match previews, let's start with the opposition, and that of course is Reading, who are the home side for this EFL Championship clash, and they sit 21st in the division, having, as I said, recently been involved in quite the relegation battle, really, in the Championship that's concluded a bit earlier than I think most have been due to points deductions, and Reading, of course, themselves received one of these at the start of the season, a 6-point deduction. They began their season for breaching financial fair play regulation. I think their wages are operating quite a way over their turnover by the looks of things from what I was looking at. But yeah, of course, involved in a relegation scrap this season, but now safe. The three teams in the Championship going down this season have been confirmed to be Derby, Peterborough and Barnsley. Barnsley, of course, we face on the final day of the season. But yet, Reading, of course, being involved in that survival dogfight, but finally confirming their survival with 2 games to play. They confirmed it against Hull City. But yeah, to be fair, I did look at some of the sort of stats around it, and if they didn't have the point deduction, they would only be a place above where they are now without it. So, you know, there's still a huge margin between sort of that mid band of the Championship and what is now, I think, the bottom 4 or 5 teams, perhaps, including Birmingham at the bottom of the Championship. But Reading have done well to survive this season with a lot of breaches of course, the points deduction and keeping themselves going, and that's been largely down to the takeover from Paul Ince, who came in as manager formerly of Blackburn, Blackpool and Notts County as well. He's currently the interim boss, but there's a chance that he could be asked to stay on next season as well. He guided them to safety with, of course, 2 games to play, and yeah, of course, Veljko Paunovic, I actually thought he was all right last season in the Championship, helping him out. Helping you know, Reading out and getting them towards the Championship playoff position. So yeah, I thought he was actually okay last season, but this season, of course, has completely lost, I think, a lot of the fans, along with obviously the off the field issues that are causing a lot of discontent for Reading fans. But Paul Ince is coming in. He's kept them up with a good run of form since he's come into the club, and of course has helped them along the way. So yeah, that's absolutely fair play to Paul Ince, who's coming in doing a very good job. Yeah, but of course Reading have to be reliant on, or have been reliant on, one man in particular, and that is John Swift, who has bagged 11 goals and 13 assists, the top assister or goal scorer in both of those categories this season. And yeah, he's been incredible since sort of his rise into the Reading first team. It's his best season to date, numbers-wise, and yeah, he's been influential. And of course, if you haven't watched our video on some free agents that Albion could pick up this summer, make sure you do. Of course, that's a much-watched share on the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel. We did mention John Swift, who, of course, he's out of contract this summer. Probably won't play tomorrow, to be honest. I think that they're looking to sort of move him on now, and it's clear that he's not signing that new deal. So I think it's best that he kind of sits out and has been sitting out over the past few games. But yeah, John Swift, of course, done an amazing job this season with Reading. So many goals and so many assists, especially from the central midfield position. He'll be looking for a move this summer, and I think Albion are very interested in him. They've sent scouts to watch him. I'd hope that we end up with him. I do hope we do. He's a good player, and of course has not some really good numbers this season. His dribbling, his movement off the ball as well. Yeah, I think it's difficult, but he could be an Albion player by next season. But of course, Brentford and Leeds are also interested in him. They're two very good Premier League sides, and yeah, Reading this season as a whole haven't been great, especially defensively. You have to rely on John Swift to sort of score the goals and keep creating at the other end. But the worst defensive record in the league with 85 goals conceded and only 5 clean sheets for the Royals this season. They've had to rely on the attacking output. Even that hasn't been great, and it's just been enough to survive. As I said, they haven't done that well without the points deduction this season. But of course, that has to be credited as a reason why they are where they are in the league. But it's really difficult to kind of spell out for Reading what next season holds for them, because they've got a lot of out of contract players coming to the end of their deals. Of course, signed a lot on short-term deals at the start of this season. So yeah, that'll be interesting. But here is my predicted Reading 11. In goal, we'll go for Nyland, former Aston Villa goalkeeper and Norwegian goalkeeper as well. Andy Yerdom, right back. I think he would make a nice signing in the summer as a right back. He's out of contract as well. Michael Morrison at centre back. Tom McIntyre alongside him. Babak Rahman at left back, who's on loan from Chelsea. Josh Laurent, who's a player I really fancy us to sign this summer. I think he'd be a really good number 6 in defensive midfield. He's out of contract, of course, as well. You've got Junior Hoylett at right midfield. Tom Ince, son of Paul Ince, at left midfield. In front of Josh Laurent, you've got Danny Drinkwater, of course, on loan from Chelsea, part of that Leicester 2015-16 title-winning squad. Tom Delabasharu, of course, in centre midfield, alongside, just behind Lucas Yao, who is their second highest goal scorer in the league this season with 10 goals, just behind John Swift. But on to Albion. It's everybody's favourite part of the video. 13th in the EFL Championship, the lowest point this season in terms of league position, but could finish as low as 16th this season should our bad run of form continue into the end of the season and those below us pick up their wins. That is shocking to even be uttering those words, but a 0-0 draw with Coventry City last time out, and a board draw with little to be excited about, if I'm completely honest. And of course, I'm sure a lot of Baggies fans will resonate with that, as I don't think there was too many people left in the ground by the end of that game, and especially when Kylan Grant missed that last-minute penalty that could have put us away with all 3 points. However, it was missed, and that's exactly why it was such a poor draw and one that we didn't really want to watch in the end. But yeah, of course, difficult, and it's difficult to kind of motivate yourselves towards the end of this season. I know you've had so many I know the players have had so many chances to kind of pick up those playoff places and get ourselves back in the promotion mix, but they really haven't done themselves any favours whatsoever. And of course, Steve Bruce is staying as well. By the sounds of things, he promises this rebuild. Is he the right man to oversee it? I think the reason I'm clinging to is that he's managed this team for a while now, and will know the strengths and weaknesses of it. He'll know exactly who the bad eggs are really in the camp and who needs to be getting rid of. So yeah, for that reason, I think maybe he should stay in charge. But for others, for lack of inspiration during his time at the club, I think he's probably that's one of the reasons why he would have to go for me. But I think he's seen what's inside the dressing room, knows what to expect from these players, knows what he can get out of these players, and I think for that, I think maybe some of them will go for that if Bruce is in charge, and I think there will be a rebuild. But one of the players who's in question to potentially be part of this rebuild is Andy Carroll, who's out of contract at the end of the season. Of course, played in the game for Reading against us earlier in the season, cleared one off the line as well. He wants £20,000 a week, by the sounds of things, by the reports I'm reading on social media. I'm not sure that's a wage that really enthuses me at his age. But I can see his reasoning as to why he wants that sort of money. He'll probably look at somebody like Callum Robinson's wage or Kylan Grant's wage and think, I try a lot harder than them and I work a lot harder than them, and I've shown them up really throughout parts of this season as to how to put a proper tackle in, or how to put a proper challenge in, or how to apply yourself properly. And I think if everybody else applied themselves in the same way as Andy Carroll had this season, we wouldn't be 14th in the league. It's blind 13th in the league. Sorry, we wouldn't be in that position, and we wouldn't have the possibility of finishing 16th if everybody applied themselves in the same way as Andy Carroll. That said, £20,000 a week is a big fee for somebody who is getting on, who has had a large track history of injuries. Even though he's managed to keep himself pretty in shape throughout his time at Albion, only missing one game through injury so far this campaign. 33 years old though. Is he worth £20,000 a week? I'll let you comment that. I'll let you debate that in the comment section below. But he should. He rightfully does. He is rightfully. He's probably right. He's probably more picking on our sort of inept wage structure more than anything. But I do think that he deserves more money. Maybe not £20,000 a week, but he's shown a lot of the players up in this squad for exactly what they are, and I think he's a large part of why so many of them are going, because somebody's come into the club, Andy Carroll, with no connection to Albion at all, has come in and shown himself to be a real asset and to put a shift in. But yeah, predicted 11 for Albion in goal. I've gone for David Button. I'd like to see Alex Palmer given a go, but I think we all know that probably won't happen. 3 centre-backs, Semi Ajayi, Dara O'Shea and Matt Clark. I'd like to see Ethan Ingram given a go in the wing-back spot. And a midfield 3 of Jake Livermore, Taylor Gardner-Hickman and Jason Malumbi. Adam Reach at left wing-back. Connor Townsend will not be in the squad as he's set to go and visit the birth of his child tomorrow. So Zach Ashworth, youngster and son of former technical director at Albion, Dan Ashworth, will be on the bench or in the squad. Actually, he could start over Reach, but yeah, I think I'll stick with Reach. But Ashworth, definitely nice to see another youngster getting a go. Karlan Grant and Andy Carroll up front together. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Drop your comments and your score predictions and your thoughts ahead of the game. And yeah, I'll look forward to reading those, and we'll see you in the next match preview. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.